Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Tuesday, December the 5th of December. Hello, you got there before me. Darren, good morning. Here she is. Raymondo, good morning, morning. Hey, Liam, how you doing, mate? Good morning. And Alex, good morning to you guys too. You might have noticed on the intros it said show 49. I'm not sure whether it's show 48 or 49. I will check because I have to do something special for show 50. So it's show 48 or 49, one of the two. How are you all this morning? Do you like the t-shirt? Look, setbacks become comebacks. We love a good comeback, don't we? Okay, David's here as well. Good morning, David. Scott's here. Good morning, Scott. How you doing? Great to see you. Okay, now then, to start off today, here he is. Hola, mi chico guapos. Multilingual episode of GOOW TV today. That is as far as my Spanish goes. In the family, they know that at the start of lockdown, it was when you could go places. I started Spanish lessons and I was the dunce of the class. Now, Chris is here. Chris, I'm going to talk to you later on in a positive way. So stay with me. But Chris, great to see you. For everyone else, please do say hello in the comments. And the little Spanish story inadvertently is linked to my question for us to get to know each other a bit better. So say hello in the comments. And what skill would you like to learn? What's the skill that you're thinking, you know what? Maybe it's because it's close to the new year. It's like New Year's resolutions. But what skill would you like to learn? What's the thing that you might want to try in the new year, for example? What are you thinking? You know what? I'm gonna try and chip away Duolingo style, if you like. Bit of gamification, a bit of daily trying. Or have you got a big dream? You know, what is it? What new skill would you like to learn? So let's get to know each other. I will tell you mine in a minute. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Laura. Do you have a skill? Do you have a new skill that you would like to learn? You have many skills. I know that. But do you have something that you think, you know what? Um, okay, David's kicking us off. How to talk to a toddler without having to battle over every little aspect of their life. Oh, I'm glad to say, David, my days of arguing with brains that cannot be argued with are long gone. Now, I did get a few comments last week. If your comments are showing up in LinkedIn, but they're not showing up here for me, and I'm not reading them, I'm not ignoring you. Apparently, you have to just refresh the entire feed. So just click refresh, and then they should come up here. Um, Last week, I didn't repeat one of Neris's comments, and I love Neris to death. So I definitely wasn't ignoring her. I wouldn't ignore any of you. So if you are not seeing your comments come up, please just hit refresh. So Danny is. I'd love to be able to play the piano. Yes, Danny. Do you think you will start doing that? Man of your caliber, I can envisage you being like a concert pianist by this time next year. Alan is here. Good morning, Alan. Alan, do you have a new skill that you would like to learn? So far, we've got David and Danny. David wants to be able to talk to toddlers. I mean, David, if you can nail that, then you're going to be a millionaire. You'll have to give up contact centers and move into, you could be like a TV celebrity. If you can do that, that'd be great. Danny wants to be able to play the piano. I'll share mine with you. I would love to be able to do sign language. I went through a stage last year of learning Makaton, but now I would like to learn British Sign Language. Now, if Spencer joins us, I want to try and I will try a couple out on him, see if I'm right. Darren says how to set up a successful YouTube account. Not for me, but for my daughter who wants to build a hand balancing brand she can turn into a business when she's older. Hey Darren, you should connect with Chrissy Spencer, whose daughter Evie has launched is like Formula One motorsport journalist. She's brilliant, and she has launched YouTube, TikTok, podcast, pretty much all from scratch. So that's Chrissy Spencer, and it's her daughter Evie, who's also on LinkedIn. Yo, it's me, Def Spencer here, currently rocking your red hoodie and sneaking some of your Haribo candies from your car. Shush, don't tell anyone. Spencer, can you check that this is correct? Okay. Is that right? I think I said good morning, hello, welcome. So I am my skill that I want to do is to learn British Sign Language. Alan says, similar to Danny, I would like to learn how to play a banjo. That's brilliant. Raza, good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you? Oh, Jordan's here, the superstar of the team leader community. Hey, Raza, great. I would love to learn sign language too. Well, maybe we can all get together and try and do it. Graham, good morning. Good to see you at the Expo. It's great to see you at the Expo. Now, Laura says, good question. Let me reflect on this one. Too many to choose from. And you're welcome, Darren. Spencer, okay, good. That was a good start then. But look, that is all I've got so far. Morning, hello, welcome. So I'm going to try and do one for you every week, let's say, every week on this show. What skill would you like to... Oh, look, there's a few. Graham says, likewise, and I too want to learn British Sign Language. Spencer, we're going to be coming to you a lot, I think. We should all learn British Sign Language. Okay, well, you're for the three of us that want to do it. This is good morning. This is welcome. So let's do this again. Good morning. Welcome. Spencer, we're gonna have to get together on this one. Please do keep these coming. This is a nice way for us to get to know each other and form connections. The other thing I'd say is if you see people commenting that you are not connected with, why not connect with them? It's a nice way of building our network together and our community. As I mentioned there, I saw Graham, I saw quite a few of you at the Expo. And as a little reminder, just going to remove myself and play you a little video, and the reason will become clear in a second.
Hard day's work, a beer after.
Yeah, a couple of these off you make with what you... So I think that's do if I live on. Sometimes whatever you have, these out there, if it was about 90 degrees out there, go down a tree.
Wise words.
There we go. Well, can you relate if you were at Expo that it's only really today that I've got the power of cognitive thought back? So, my question for everybody today is what were your takeaways from the call and contact center expo? And if you weren't there, what would you like to see from an expo? What do you look for in an expo? So, what were your takeaways if you were there? Or what do you look for in an expo? I'll kick us off. You know, some great talks, some really good talks. Some it's great to see all of the technology. I'm no luddite. I love us embracing technology and being at the forefront from it. It was towards the end of day two, but I chaired a panel with April Critchlow and Ian Chappell from Centrical. I love what those guys are doing. They're the way they were talking about employee engagement and who owns it and what you can do through gamification, I found fascinating. You know, from kind of when someone joins a contact center all the way through to later on in their career, the impact that engaging with them through gamification and things like that can have, I thought was fascinating. But what were your takeaways? Yes, talking of the expo, Darren is here. Morning, Darren. Great to see you there. Absolutely great. Now, Darren is an absolute genius when it comes to running teams. He was at Trust Speed and he's a director of CX, director of CS, currently looking for a new role. So please do connect, tag Darren in anything you see. So, Graham's key takeaways. Number one, great community of people. Love it. Two key words there, Graham, right? Community and people. Jordan wasn't there. Heard great things about the team leader community stand. And Wilson. Yeah. Wilson, the shopping trolley. Number two, equally great ecosystem of technology vendors. Yeah, I think if you are in a position where you're looking to upgrade or implement new technology, there's nowhere better than to in a day or 2 days find out what's available, and pick up loads of socks and freebies and Haribo, Spencer, on the way. But you've done me a favor, actually, Spencer. The less Haribo I have, the better. Raza says, I was not at the expo. For me, it would be inspiration, new ways of working and sharing experience. That's great. That is really, it is inspirational, actually, isn't it, Raza? Scott, I wasn't able to attend as I was on annual leave, but from what I've seen on LinkedIn, it seemed to be very AI heavy this year. I think that's true. I think you can't. I wonder how much of it is a lot of the vendors feel like they have to say, "Hey, we've got AI. It's in our provision." So, but yeah, very AI heavy. It's exciting, of course, but too much of it, you can think, "Oh, God, I want to hear something different." My talk was different, Scott, and there was no mention of AI. Okay, from Def Spencer, handshake from you. Oh, thanks, Spencer. Talking about Tottenham, well, I could do that all day. Organising a get together for meet for a cuppy, I'd be more than happy to teach you how to communicate with the deaf community through sign language, and in the process, give your brand greater visibility amongst this community. Wow, I'd love to. Love to do that, Spencer. Darren, AI is everywhere, from customer benefits right through to how it benefits your team. So much tech, tricky to navigate and understand the real differences between them. That is true. How do you can get wowed, or can't you? But how do you differentiate? Really good point, Darren. Raza, I missed out on the Haribos. Gutted. They all went. Do you know, Raza, I made a fatal mistake. There was me, Beverly, and Rob on the stand. Rob can't be with us today. He sent me a message. I put all of my giveaways in the shopping trolley, and everything went at the end of day one. So it meant that I had nothing for day two, including the Haribo. I think Haribo went more than anything else. Hi, Ian. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Darren, agree with the community aspect. Met so many brilliant people. Straight back at you, Darren. Was a great couple of days, says Danny. Despite the over-indexed focused on tech and AI, the irony is that the real differentiator in business is its people. Perhaps, Danny, as well, that differentiator. If I was a vendor, that's what I would be talking about. I would be saying our tech is great, but more importantly, you get people support that is second to none. Because I think that's what we all need once we've got tech. Your talk was all balls. Loved it. I just like the opportunity to stand on a stage with the word balls behind me. Thanks, Graham. I appreciate that. Raymondo says, Bev says, takeaways. 1, the vibe was super positive. So true. 2, there was a heck of a lot of SaaS vendors in startup mode, a bit samey. 3, I saw about 20% of what was there. The place is like a TARDIS. Now, Bev, to be fair, you were doing so much on the stand. You're an absolute trooper, an awesome, awesome human being. Hello. Hi, Mr. T. I can't see who this is. Could you just redo one with who you are? Danny Wareham has the answer to how you can change your settings so that I can see your name. Not one of them presenters replaced themselves with an AI presenter. Hashtag missed opportunity. I think there were people probably wishing that I'd been replaced with a AI presenter. We unapologetically use no AI at all in our assessment tools. There's no need. Now that's a differentiator, Ian, isn't it? Rachel, hello. Good to see you. Graham Bunting, this. Yeah. Chris, AI has become an expectation in tech. I think we should focus on what it does rather than the tech itself. So true, Chris. And I know that's what you guys do. Oh, Natasha, thank you very much. Thank you. It's great to see you. Was a great expo, very inspirational, and I always come away buzzing. So yeah, Chris, I'm with you on that one. It was buzzing, but also exhausted. The braving the M25 after 2 days of the expo. And when I was packing up my stand, they were pulling up the carpet, and the guy pulling up the carpet had to wait for me to load my trolley, and then was rolling up the carpet behind me. So. Hey, Kay. Hello. It's Kay saying hi. Hi, Kay. Great to see you. Now, Kay, please do connect with Kay. She's doing some really, really interesting stuff at the moment. Hi, Martin. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again, too. Now, when it comes to the expo, I know it's early, but what would you want to see more of maybe next year? Tour guides, maybe. It is massive, wasn't it? What would you want to see more of? Maybe this is my end because I'm getting a lot of you coming through and I can't see who you are. Hi, bud. I can't see you and everyone else can. I'm the only one in the dark here, so please do let me know your name. I don't want to be rude. So, is there anything you'd want to see more of or less of? Here's something I would like. I would like there to be a moment before everyone else gets let in, where you can go around and just have a freebie because I didn't get any. Raza says, with AI becoming more prevalent, there is a natural feeling that it will replace frontline jobs. How do we reassure those that are maybe worried about this? I didn't see any of the talks that talked about AI, so maybe other people can answer, Raza. Certainly from other conversations, not necessarily at the expo, I think the view is that it's gonna complement, pick up more transactional stuff. and you'll still need the same number of people on the front line to deal with complex escalation type things, and there shouldn't be a difference. More team leaders, that's right, Danny. And that was kind of, I don't know if I ended with that in my talk or it was in the middle. I can't remember. I'm like a horse that bolted. I was kind of blind. The most important group of people in our contact centers, I would argue, and that's not just because I set up the team leader community. I felt like that before. The most underrepresented group at the Expo were team leaders. You know, if you are in any way connected or have influence over team leaders, you need to be earmarking next November to let a group of your team leaders go to the Expo. Carla Noy and Heather Lawrence from Boiler Juice, who are members of the community. Carla took Heather, and Heather wrote a brilliant post on LinkedIn about the impact it had had on her, and it took me back 20 years to how I felt about going to the Expo as a team leader. It absolutely energized me. Definitely more coffee, water stations in the venue. 45 minutes for a £6 frappe. Yes. I missed your last talk. Better offer from Clayton. Yeah, well, Clayton's one, I'm sure, would have been brilliant. I was gutted that we were on at the same time, and I was telling people to go to his. Liam says we see more power in assisted AI, assisting frontline agents and reducing learning curves. That's great, Liam. That's brilliant. Danny wrote an excellent post last week on AI, comparing it to previous innovations that threatened human participation. Danny, thanks, Bev. Danny, maybe you could pop the link in here so we can have a look at that. People will, for a good while yet, be the key for delivering a great operation. Very true, Alan. More use case examples of how augmentation using AI for agent assist and mundane tasks so people can have more time to engage better with people, says Graham. That's definitely a theme there. I don't think anyone can answer how it won't replace yet unless we are coders. However, I agree we will always require human intuition. The team leader communities are the ones feeling the pinch of SLA. The right people being there and trained, coached effectively as a leader, and their teams, especially if hybrid. Round of applause. I love that one. Matt, hello. Great to see you at the X's the other day. I would second that. We always used to take team leaders and it massively expanded their horizons. So true. Take your team leaders to the Expo. Great. Danny, thank you very much. Written on the train home from the Expo. I wish I got a train. Driving was tough. Now, Matt, you've prompted me. I have a reminder. I haven't prepared a slide for this, but this Friday, featuring Matt and about 20 other people, is a X's special episode of Get Out of Rap. So I stayed off the wine until later on, only much later, and got to chat to as many people as possible at the start and towards the middle of the evening of the European Contact Center and Customer Service Awards. That episode comes out on Friday. It's really, really good. I'm not just saying that. I really enjoyed listening back to it when I edited it. And you may have seen, I posted on LinkedIn this morning that thanks to all of you and our contact center community, Get Out of Rap has spent the entire year in the top 150 of the Apple management podcast charts. There's over 7,000 podcasts in that category, and we are in the top. We've been in the top 150 all year. I don't often check, but I got an email prompting me, and we've been in there for the whole year, which is great. So thank you so much if you've listened or come on the show. I really appreciate it. I really do. Now, The hoodies were going like wildfire. I'm really sorry. Look, I didn't look at the formatting. That's Becky Simpson under there. In the normal picture, of course, her face is not covered, but you can see some satisfied and happy people here with their hoodies. If you want to get one, you can use the QR code, but it's really important that you message me on LinkedIn that you've done it. I will get a notification that you've paid, but please can you message me the color and size and your address, and I will get that out to you. Now I'm sorting something out, so in the new year, it would all be all singing, all dancing. But if you want a hoodie, please do either use this QR code or just drop me a message on LinkedIn, and I will sort one out for you. You have to pay for it. But everyone can attest it is good quality. I never got one. Oh, Ian, well, talk to me later, and we'll sort one out. Now, I wasn't giving them away at the expo. I'm a one-man band. Things are tight. Okay, now then, I have a great offer for you. In conjunction with Evaluagent, and I mentioned Chris, I just want to show you something on my little tray of knickknacks. Chris gave me this. It is fairy rock. It is a fairy rock. It is absolutely brilliant. That's my favorite thing from the expo. Chris, you are so kind. There's a little QR code there that tells you the story. There, it's from near Troon, right, Chris, in Scotland. But thank you so much. That is now like my little asterisk is on top of there. Pride of place. Pride of place. Thank you so much. Now, Chris is from Evaluagent. We have an offer for you for the team leader community. It is a cracker. So if you, the first 10 companies, 10 to take a demo, get 3 free spaces in the team leader community. So you have to go to the Evaluagent website, which is scrolling along the bottom of the screen, fill in the usual form for book a demo, and then like a magical quest, when you finally speak to someone, and they're all very nice. None of the guys there are in any way pushy. They're genuine contact center people. But when you speak to them, you have the magic word is Martin from Get Out of Rap sent me. And if you say those magical words, they will sort out with me 3 free spaces to the team leader community for a year. So that's a year's membership to the team leader community. Martin from Get Out of Rap sent me the first 10 companies that book a demo will get this offer. Whilst 2/3 of the people we have in the community are team leaders, you don't have to be a team leader. Obviously, we'd love it to be team leaders, but equally, we'd love for you guys to join as well, even if you are not a team leader, because you can offer help. So, great offer. Go to, if you want to book a demo, go and book a demo as usual. But then when you speak to someone, you have to say, Martin from Get Out of Rap sent me. Here we go. So it's from the Isle of Isla Craig. If it starts glowing, it means there's a contact center in trouble. Oh, the Chris Mounts rap signal. I love it. I'm going to watch it now. If I turn off the lights, will it glow in the dark? But I love that. And I'm really pleased to be working with Chris on this offer. It's a great offer. Please do make sure that you, if you can't make use of it, then share it with someone that you think, A, is looking for a service, AI quality-based service from Evaluagent, but this is a way that you can 2 birds and 1 stone it, right? That you can get into the team leader community, 3 people from your company free for a year. So we're now getting to everybody's favorite part. Check this out. New video. This is how I spend my time. So we are up to, for those of you interested, this is the the CX Decision Makers Guide. We are up to page 68. And in for a bit of a change, we're doing first call resolution. Okay. I wanted to share a bit of the paragraph prior to the first graph. What's happening? Um, the majority of contact centers who track first contact resolution do so only based on the interaction itself. That is, they do not check whether the action or business process initiated by the contact has been followed through successfully. And I think we can all agree with this next sentence as well. Most complaints received by a contact center are about the failings of the wider business, usually around 80 to 90%. So focusing entirely upon the work done within the contact center is missing the point of measuring first contact resolution. The following chart shows that 1/3 of respondents report that the majority of their callbacks are due to failures in downstream processes and actions, or lack of, showing that there is a need for joined up processes between the front and back office, as well as between channels. And I just thought that was an important point to make. Here is the chart that it is talking about. So this is the proportion of callbacks due to downstream business failures by contact center size. Now, for those of you that have stuck with me for the very first time we went through a similar volume from Contact Babel, there's a bit of similarity here, or we've seen something like this before, but you can see that the proportion of callbacks due to downstream business failure, if you're in a small contact center, 19% sit within the 76% plus bracket. So the vast majority are being caused by downstream business failures. Here we go. Completely agree, says Darren. This is where getting the entire business thinking customer first is so important. I couldn't agree more, Darren. And I think for any of us, we can all think about how downstream activity has had a big impact on how the contact center is scored and reflected. So I can remember that for a company that would send out repair people, the dispatch team, if you like, sent out an electrician to a plumber job, but it was the contact center that received the negative customer satisfaction score. So customer service gets it in the neck for its complaint volumes and resolution times, but agree that a huge number are usually due to something the call center have no control over. So true. Graham says definitely silos and unconnectedness are failure points, as is lack of empowerment. So true. And this isn't to just say, well, it's not our fault. It's downstream, right? I think it is that call to action that Darren notes, that we need to get joined up so that it is a seamless process that results in the customer wherever they were asked in the process. And I think that's really important. If the customer is asked straight after the contact with a contact center, and then at the end of the action, and their two responses are the same positively, then we're doing something right. Alan says this action has to be driven by an open and honest dialogue with heads of and above. If they all see the impact, they cannot avoid fixing the cause. So true. And one of the things there, Alan, is how often do these guys and girls meet? How often do senior leaders across the business meet? Now, I'm not sure he's with us today, but it'd be great to speak to Dan Cohen about this, who's kind of now moved into other areas, and to see it all joined up. Too many places use the contact center as a scapegoat to protect other departments. I think a lot of that is often due out of lack of understanding, right? Peter's here. If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike. Gino and other Italians. I love that, Pete. It's very random, but I love it. The contact center is a magnet for customer problems and is not often the cause of them. In siloed organizations, hello, Nick, by the way. In siloed organizations, head of CS has little influence over other departments. I had hoped that head of CX roles reporting to MD would improve things, but I'm not clear that it has. So true. Alan says, in my business, monthly. That's great. That's brilliant. The senior managers ought to take it in turns to spend the day on the phones. I used to pressure other senior leaders into doing the same. Not many followed suit, but I liked it. I thought it helped me make better decisions. All C-suite should do like many retailers do and have to spend a day at the coalface, walk a mile, exactly, or talk a mile, Graham, right? You're Claret Peter. I'm not as fast as you. Why bother calling it FCR when you're looking at the wrong things that mean nothing in terms of real world CX? So true. It's just a vanity metric, right? To help drive this change, you need to report on and then share and hold those areas of the business to account for the impact they are having on the customer and the CS team. Every complaint costs operationally, so reduce them and the overall business is better off, as are you customers. So true, Darren. Now then, we're coming to one of my most informative, not mine, I found it informative, okay? This is historical average speed to answer and call abandonment rate. Does this surprise you, or does it match your understanding of where we're at? Now, because of this, you have the facts and figures to go along with what might be some of your assumptions. You can see that maybe the drop in our customer satisfaction scores over the last few years is right here. Look at this. 2020, 2021, 2022, the average speed to answer has hugely increased, as has abandonment rate. So this is clear proof, and I'm reading from the report here. This is clear proof that customers are not over-exaggerating their frequent experiences with long queue times. Some sectors, utilities, public sector, and housing in particular, are reporting extremely long queues, and this needs to be looked at urgently. Now, there has to be some kind of there is a correlation, isn't there? Whether it's causation or not, but there is definitely. We're seeing customer satisfaction scores, however they're measured or whoever's doing it, dropping. Yet at the same time, our average speed to answer has gone from, in 2019, 40 seconds to 2022, 120. Let's have a look. Graham says, COVID and inflexible tech. Very true. Alan says, lack of a clear resource plan. You know, I think you look at something like this. I must admit, I was come to the page prepping for today, and I thought, wow, that is surprising, disappointing, but with our positive pants on, yeah, if we corrected this alone, we would see an upturn in happy customers, a better perception of the industry. This would be better for our agents, because people that are waiting this long to answer, when they get through, are not happy, are they? Or for that matter, resource. Danny says, my experience is that AHT targets have remained broadly the same throughout the last 20 years. However, handling time has increased. as self-service taking away the simple stuff. Combined with redundancies, headcount reduction, we have more complex issues taking longer to handle. Working in a targeting resourcing model that doesn't yet allow for advisors to get everything spot on first time, every time. So true. Bev says it's all the messaging at the front end of the IVR, the front of the IVR. So many messages about what to do, what not to do, where to go, website. Oh, all right, then hang on if you insist. That kind of over the top deflection, right, Bev, is what you're talking about. And I know you're a big advocate of like just get them in. We also have customers that have rediscovered voice calls through COVID and have decided to continue with that channel as a preference. I know, Danny, from our previous stats that we've shared here, that voice is as prevalent as a chosen channel as ever. So absolutely is the key. Rachel, yes, I do. Yeah, hoodies can go international. Just message me on LinkedIn afterwards. Matt says, no surprises, but isn't it embarrassing? I bet 2023 is no better. COVID should have explained 2 years, but we did a poor job of communicating to stakeholders the value of the resources needed. You know, you've got a very kind of unemotional, dry, yet extremely informative, right, document, like Contact Babel's reports, saying this needs to be looked at urgently. I agree with Matt. You know, it is embarrassing, but it should be seen as the Pareto moment, right? Right here is how we can improve the perception of our industry and the customer satisfaction scores. Answer the call. Get prepared. Get ready to answer the call. Make your process about getting to people quickly. Darren says, I think there's still a lot of imbalance in getting the advantages of tech in, coupled with the actual development resources available to actually get the work done to drive the efficiencies. I don't think everyone gets this right, which then means you've planned resources, but the tech hasn't kept up. This comes back to customer first, getting the whole business bought into CX. There you go. You summarized that far better than me, Darren. But, you know, I think like Matt, like Darren, like Danny and Bev, this is something we need to look at. This should be kind of, what are we going to do about this in a positive way, right? We're in this industry because we're problem solvers. We're in this industry because we like fixing things and we like doing things for people. Well, here's our thing to fix. And any companies who constantly have higher than normal IVR messages need to reevaluate what normal is and budget accordingly. I mean, not even if you weren't in the industry and you heard that, it's guaranteed to antagonize, isn't it? You're basically opening your contact with a customer by saying that you're not competent. They're not higher than normal, are they? Otherwise, you wouldn't have a recorded message. But we haven't connected answering to satisfaction to business value in the mind of stakeholders. Hyped marketing by vendors and over-promising efficiency by leaders gave them an excuse not to invest. We need more bums on seats, and we should be able to attract them more now, Matt. Right? Because we're saying these aren't going to be transactional stuff. It's going to be nice things to get stuck in. Nice. It's going to be things that you get to use your brain, and you're going to be interacting with cutting edge tech. Would be great to be able to say. Many orgs don't think twice about spending 30k on tables at awards to celebrate how great their customer experience apparently is. Spend it on an extra person and buy some availability to deal with the customer experience. From Def Spencer, loads of freebies everywhere. There were at the Expo, weren't there, mate? So I think that comment came. My feed sometimes is a bit doolally. So yeah, Danny, I think this is right. It's fix this to the companies out there. If you're a budget holder, budget influencer, fix this, because you know, this is 2022 is the highest yet recorded for calls abandoned and average speed. And you wonder how many of those people that abandoned, right, tried other avenues first. So this wasn't the start of their journey of interacting with a company. It's towards the end, after trying self-serve. They haven't got the answers they were looking for on a website. They've queued for too long, and then they've abandoned the call. I mean, it's awful. And interestingly, there was a study done, wasn't there, that showed people over exaggerate the time that they wait. When they're asked to estimate how long they waited, they massively overestimate. So if you've been waiting 120 seconds and you were asked how long you've waited, you're probably going to say 5 minutes. That's their perception that they carry on and tell other people. Graham, hello, Graham. AHT is a measure for the whole business, not just the contact center. Why can't agents solve on first-time contact? Consider training, recruitment, business knowledge, access to solutions. Report the latter to seniors. They are charged with providing solutions to the front end. Think outside the bubble on this and share knowledge. So true. Cost of tables at awards equals different budget, different owner. Joined up decisions would be good. And that's in response to Danny's point, I think. I think one of the things as well is that contact center are just getting driven. Come on, you've got to do this. Answer the calls, answer the calls, answer the calls. The solution to this sits in the decision makers. So no wonder FCR and CSAT are divergent when people are making up what FCR is and how they measure it. So true. People want to talk to you and not queue too long because they have high urgency issues. All the help from tech to offer more services, try and retain custom, surface unappreciated needs, etc., has just increased interaction complexity and length. So true, Pete. We're all busy trying to be the best looking guy in the Burns unit, flexing on how we're not as bad as everyone else is. Serve your customers and differentiate that way. I'm not laughing at Burns, but I am, but you know what I mean. This leads to channel hoping, the pariah of all contact centers. Channel hopping. Yeah, sorry, Alan. Customers always overestimate how long they've been waiting. Yeah, it's still not great, as that will be their takeaway and what they tell other people. Danny says, Nick, it was meant more as a generalization. It all comes out of the same big pot, even if local budgets are ring fenced. Yeah, I think it's more about, you know, we've got this much across all our departments. Where's our biggest need right now? If we're true about being customer first organization, this is where the money should be spent. Yeah, sorry, Alan. Channel hopping, exactly, the pariah of all contact centers. I have got, let me just make a note of this for next week. I've got a few other slides, but I think this has been a good place to stop and to contemplate what we're doing. This is our call to arms, right? For the people that are around us in the industry that maybe haven't seen this, this is what we should be talking to them about. This is what we should be trying to address. The money shot. This is indeed the money shot. This is where we need to be spending money, because this cannot carry on if it's continuing to go up. And be interesting to see 2023, wouldn't it? This is where we should be at. Now, I've gone over. I do apologize. Thank you all so much for attending, for the conversations as well. It's the highlight of my week, and I hope it gives you some food for thought to go away with, influence others, take great actions, and just carry on being awesome human beings. So from me and from all the crew there, including The Rock, thank you, Chris. Hold on. This is dramatic. Many of the graphs don't show marked differences between times or org sizes. This is a biggie. I will leave you with this as we head out. Plus, there's the staff morale impact from high waiting times. Exactly. Starting each call with an apology takes its toll. So true. Great. Thank you, Graham. Thanks, Alan. Thanks to you all. Have a great week. And I will see you next Tuesday. I'll load it up later on today. Send you all invites and see you all next week. Thanks very much for being part of this community. Bye, everybody.